Okay, it's been 1 week since Killing Floor 3 came out, and I've been playing it quite a bit. Do I think that Killing Floor 3 has potential and is a good game? Let's find out in this video. Who knows? It could be anything. But yeah, and I'm stuck and I'm floating, and I can't move. Oh, and I'm dead. Oh, awesome. That's cool. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Killing Floor 3. I know, okay? This game has been dragged and dragged and dragged through the mud, and most of it is completely warranted. I can't even argue with half the points being said. This game came out in a less than stellar state. That being said, I do think that this game is one of the funner games I've played lately, but I'm not a hardcore gamer. I don't play heaps of games, so there isn't much competition. It's competing with like Rainbow Six Siege and Mastermate. Granted, Mastermate is really good. Siege is hot. Oh my god. It's just fun to come home from a long day at work, or just a day at work, or after I've been studying for a bit, and just sit down and play some Killing Floor 3 with my mates. But yeah, let's just jump into the positives and the negatives, and what I think this game has in store in the future, because I do think that Killing Floor 3 has got a lot of potential. So, this game's been out for about a week now, and I put about 50 hours into it. I'm level 35 bug. I'm leveling up my commando in the background. It's about level 10 at the moment. So I know what I'm talking about, at least a tiny bit. Obviously, I'm not the end-all be-all. These are just my opinions, and you can disagree with them. That is completely fine. I know a lot of people hate this game a lot. They think that it killed the franchise completely, which is fair if you think it did, honestly. That being said, I wouldn't recommend completely writing off this game, because as we know, it's a live service model. There's going to be updates in the future. Obviously, we've all seen the roadmap. We know it's coming. New class, DJ Skelly, new maps, new guns. There's all that coming out. But I do understand not wanting to play this game in its current state. There is just not enough content to keep me coming back over and over and over again. I've already done all of the missions. I've played with all the classes except for the engineer. I have not touched the engineer. I just feel like, given time, this game can make any Killing Floor fan happy. That isn't saying that I'm excusing them releasing it in this state, because I'm not. As a matter of fact, I would probably say this game isn't worth buying until they've at least patched some of these bugs. But if you're willing to push through and play the game with the bugs, you'll get at least some enjoyment out of it. Okay, I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. I'm gonna talk about the bugs and the glitches. There's so many bugs and glitches in this game that I actually won't name many of them. I'm only going to name a few that have happened to me or my friends, and one major one that's happened to me 3 or 4 times that actually soft locks you. There's few minor glitches I've had have been, I've had infinite ammo, I've had a mate who has been in negative ammo, which I don't even know how that happens. I've had a time when my gun wouldn't fire, and my gun wouldn't reload. The sprint, kind of like, you go to sprint and it sometimes just doesn't work. I don't know what causes that to happen. My gun has been invisible in my hands. I've had a mate who managed to somehow dash through a vent and fall through the map and die. And as Firebug, I couldn't activate my ultimate. When I clicked it, it would do like the tiny animation at the beginning, but then not do the explosion. So I would click it again and I would just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. All those were easy fix glitches, where I either had to swap my gun, or I just had to do some like animation of like climbing, and they'll all be sorted. There's been one glitch I've had where it genuinely has ended my runs, and it's happened to me 3 or 4 times, and it's where a crawler will get stuck outside of the map, and basically make it so I can't kill it, so I can't end the round, so I would end up having to kill myself to get the rewards, and I don't actually get to finish the game, which sucks because I don't get the Ichor, and the satisfaction of killing the boss. Speaking of bosses, that is another one of my complaints. These bosses are definitely okay. I don't think they have the same like infamy or same like design as the Killing Floor 2 bosses. The Matriarch, the Patriarch, King Fleshpound, the Abomination, Hans Volta. Those are all amazing bosses. Queen Crawler and the Impalers and the Chimera, they just don't have the same oomph as the old bosses. I do think they work better in this game, because if Dr. Hans Volta or the Patriarch was in this game, we wouldn't stand a chance. I think that the bosses in this game are missing something in particular. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's more moves. Maybe it's just like better like AI. I don't know. I've had a few times where Queen Crawler will be like stuck in the sky for a little bit, and like kind of be like, I don't know. It's like they're having a spaz in the sky. Another thing I'd like to touch on is the coupling of the classes and the characters. I just don't know what they were thinking there. It just seems completely like redundant. But I've heard they're decoupling them, so that's fine. I know they're going to do that. I just don't know what they're thinking to begin with. And the other thing is that some of the actual perks in the classes seem really redundant. They're either put next to something that's like incredibly busted, or they are just not that good to begin with. I just don't know why there's some perks that just seem completely irrelevant compared to other ones that it's in the same bracket of. And the one last negative, debatably negative thing I'm going to talk about is obviously the monetization of the game. It's got a battle pass, it's got a store, the shop working day one, but the rest of the game isn't, basically. I know, that's the whole thing going on. I personally don't mind it as long as they keep it cosmetic. If it's cosmetic, I don't need to buy it, I don't need to spend any money on it. I do like battle passes, like, as a concept. I don't mind them. After all of that being said, after me talking about how buggy the game is, how the bosses just have something missing about them, after the microtransactions and all that stuff, do I think that Killing Floor 3 has promise? I do. I really think that this game can be great. I also reckon they can screw it up completely. But I have faith that they won't. I reckon if they patch out these bugs, maybe do some touch-ups on some enemies, like the Siren and the Scrake. I think the Siren's range attack completely defeats the purpose of what the Siren's supposed to be, which is something that when they get up close to you, they kill you really hard, basically. And the Scrake's grapple hook should probably have an audio cue when he's about to grapple you, because then you can actually react to it, instead of being grappled in the back and not even know it's coming. Let's talk about all the things that they've done right, and the things that keep me coming back for the 50 hours of gameplay that I already have. And the game's only been out for a week. Really gotta go outside more. Maybe even talk to a woman. No, never mind. Anyways, I'll start us off with what I think is one of the really good features they've added to this game that wasn't in Killing Floor 2, and that's the missions. I did not like the missions that much when I first started playing. I thought they were very strange, a little bit fetch questy. They were fetch questy. Matter of fact, I think they're all fetch quests. But after about an hour of playing, I really started to like them. I actually beelined it to the end of them because I was just enjoying what was going on. There's a little bit of world building going on, and expanded the actual task of just surviving the 7 waves, which is already good enough, but there's going to be something else to do on the side. It's optional, technically, but I would recommend doing them. There's also the dailies and the weeklies. Those are fun. I think you can do, unless you get class ones, you can do like all the dailies in one game, which is nice. And then the weeklies, obviously, you can do a lot of them in one game. Some of them will take multiple games. But the one thing I will say is that with the mission-based, like the story-based missions, there isn't actually that many in the game. So it took me about a day and a half to get through all of them. I was beelining it to the end, but there isn't actually much. But we're given time, I reckon that... I'm going to sneeze, hold up. Ugh, sorry to deafen you. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was saying. Given time, they'll add more story content to the game, making it a lot longer for new players who just jumped in, had to play through all the old stuff, building up to the new stuff. I hope that when they release new stories, it's in bigger quantities. I hope they don't just release 1 or 2 missions a patch, because that would be a little bit underwhelming. I would also hope that maybe, this is just like an idea I had, give it some difficulty scaling after a while. Be like, hey, collect these tablets on Hell on Earth, because they won't appear in, normal. So go radar station and do a Hell on Earth and collect tablets. I don't know. That's just an idea. It's not very casual friendly, but I feel like if you put it late enough on to the story, you should have a class that's at least level 20. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just an idea. Now on to another thing that I really like, and that's like the looter shooter mechanics to this game and the attachment system. So, they've added actual drops to enemies and also items around the map. Even though I do miss the old collectibles, these kind of make up for them. You run around, you shoot cameras, like terminals, all this random stuff, like satellite dishes, and they drop biosteel, mainly. That's pretty much all you need late game is biosteel, but they drop a bunch of random stuff. And you kill husks, scrakes, all that stuff. You get Z-Tech, biosteel, like the fleshy stuff I forgot the name of. But you get all these drops, and you can use them to craft attachments. And the attachments are cool because they add a little bit more variety to guns by just moving around some of the stats. Some of them have positive stats like damage, decreased recoil. Some of them have negative effects like it will increase the damage but up the recoil and make it so you're having to actually control the gun more. There's grenade launcher ones you put on the end of the gun, but sometimes it just feels a little bit like redundant in some cases. Like the flamethrower you can chuck like a grenade launcher on, which is cool, but you wouldn't use it over the Vulcan because the Vulcan is just like broken basically. I will say that the attachment system definitely adds another level of progression into the game. I like when you get it to purple, the bonus thing it does, like the 33% chance to refill a bullet. That one's really nice, really cool. I like that a lot. Doing more damage to bosses, 5% more. You can buff your teammates with them. I don't know, I feel like it's a really good thing to add to the game. I also know they're going to add more to the game, more attachments, and I would assume more of the sub-perk things. I can't wait for those. I hope that it doesn't overinflate the pool too much, because I'll hate to have to roll 1,000,000 Biosteel to get one of the substats. I just feel like that could be a tiny bit painful if there's too many. But all around, it's a good feature. It adds more expression, more skill, more creativity to the game, which I'm all here for. Speaking of expression and skill, the characters leveling up in particular, the actual characters themselves feel very flat. The ultimates are cool, but you level them up, you obviously, Killing Floor game, upgrade your classes, get your perks. The perks are fun, some of them are completely redundant, I've noticed, obviously like I said earlier. There's some that just seem like you would just not take them over the other one, but the ones that you do take are fun. I enjoy them. There's also a cool thing where when you put the points into the perks, it gives you like a side thing, like a mastery rank thing on the side, and it's like 1 second of infinite ammo during Z time, like just some small little buff to encourage playing it after you've got your character to level 30, because there is no prestiging mechanic in this game, like in Killing Floor 2. So after that, once you go to your class level 30, it's level 30. One other thing I will say is that the actual ultimate system that I just said, new mechanic to the game. The Killing Floor 2 didn't have that, Killing Floor 1 didn't have that. I do enjoy it. I do think it looks a little bit janky with some characters, but overall, I think it adds a new level of depth to each class. It just distinguishes them a tiny bit from the other classes in the game. Makes you feel like you have your own secret trump weapon that kills a bunch of Zeds. You can't complain about being able to kill Zeds in different ways. That's the whole point of the game, isn't it? Now let's get on to the last positive I'm mentioning in this video, and that's that this game it feels like more Killing Floor. It's just Killing Floor 2, back in the day, me and mates would come home from college, would sit down, would grind Killing Floor 2. And the same mates that I played with back then, we had all pre-ordered this game, well, most of us had pre-ordered this game, and we were playing. And it took us back a little bit. It was just fun. It was just fun, and it just gave us that feeling that, like, that's it, we're killing some Zeds, getting home from work now, killing some Zeds. It was just a fun experience, and if I'm being honest, this game has so much potential to grow. The potential I see in this game is so incredibly high, and I really hope that they just stick with it through all this negative press that they are rightfully deserved, because the game is just shocking, in the shocking state at the moment. I hope they stick through and they really just push, and they release classes, and they release characters, and they just release more content, maps, guns. They just need to grind out a few more patches, then this game could be amazing. So, that being said, for my final statement, is this game good right now? No, yes, no. I feel like at the moment the game is in such a buggy state that I can't wholeheartedly say with my chest behind it that this game is a good game, or it's in a good state at least. It just isn't. It just isn't in a good state, so I could not recommend the game if you're wanting it to be an amazing game, which is just completely awesome, 100%, buy it, this game is the next, Baldur's Gate level game, like obviously not. It's not that. Could this game be good in the future? Yes. A matter of fact, I think that I'm going to give it 2 or 3 patches, I'll say 3 patches, and I reckon that this game could probably be contending for the best Killing Floor game we've got. And that's competing with Killing Floor 2. And I'm obviously taking nostalgia out of that because nostalgia blinds all. And if I'm looking at through nostalgia lenses, then Killing Floor 2 can't be beaten. But I'm not doing that. I'm choosing to look at it as an actual game itself. We've got more hardware and software advancements. This game has every right to be better than Killing Floor 2. It just, sadly, isn't at the moment. Doesn't mean it can't be in the future. I really reckon this game could outshine Killing Floor 2, given time. That concludes my thoughts on Killing Floor 3 1 week after it released. I'll probably make an update video after the first or second patch just to update my thoughts. Is it a good game? I personally think so. You may think differently. If you think differently, feel free to let me know why in the comments. If I got anything wrong, also, you could let me know in the comments. That would be great. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and you're gay.